as you can see by the title, we are going to be doing a bunch of custom ride setups. Now, the reason that I'm doing that in this area is because this area is a little bit less traveled than most areas, so I feel a little bit more safer doing some of the tests that I'm going to be doing. To start with, I'm going to be decreasing the torque, the regen, and the brake all down to 0%. I'm going to do a little bit of testing, and then I'm going to pop it up to 50%, and then I'm going to pop it up to 100%. So stay tuned for that after the intro. So right now I'm going to press my mode button, which is going to change me from Eco to Custom. It goes Eco, Custom, Sport, then back to Eco and back to Custom again, because that's where we want to be. Custom. Now I've already put everything down to 0%, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm expecting to happen here, but it's going to be 0%. I'm not expecting much from the regen or the brake, but I'm expecting it from the torque. So here we go. We are going to start. Obviously for torque, it goes, but it takes a little bit more of the twist of the throttle to get it going. Surprisingly, I'm still dropping in speed as soon as I roll off the throttle. So I guess that's kind of like my engine braking. The brake itself, it's not obviously going to be as sharp as it is otherwise, so it takes more pressure to slow down the bike. It reacts more, I guess, like a gas-powered vehicle in the sense of the throttle is going to take more effort out of you, the brake is going to take more pressure. The stopping power overall is what you would expect from a gas-powered vehicle. So not 100% surprised by these results. After all, it's completely adjustable, so they have to make it for people who want to be able to go out there and ride and feel comfortable at whatever level they've been riding at up to this point, to be able to get themselves onto a 0 and not feel, I guess, intimidated or scared. I mean, it still goes. It still is going to give you that same amount of oomph, just to obviously the braking, like pushing on it to get the braking to catch, meaning that it takes a little bit more effort to stop the bike than it did in previous modes. And obviously it's not going to give me any proper regen. No regen. It's going to give me no regen. I pushed on my brake and it went no regen. That's not a surprise. It shouldn't be a surprise. So I'm going to pull over and I'm going to reset this now to 50%. Well, now I'm going to test that theory to see if I need the kickstand down to change my settings. So apparently all I need my kill switch off. On the off position, I don't need to have my kickstand down to change anything in my app. Switching over to 50% on everything. Okay, so torque, regen, and brake all at 50%. Time to do another little lap and test out 50%. Already I can feel that the pickup is much smoother. It's still going to take me effort to get up to 50 kilometers per hour with the twist of my wrist, but not as much effort as it did at 0%. It has a lot more pickup than it had in the previous 0%, which I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Why would I be? You shouldn't be surprised. Nobody should be surprised. I guess somebody can be surprised. Why not? So pickup good. Braking definitely has a little bit more grip to it. In general, I'm not surprised by the outcome. So even rolling off the throttle, I'm slowing down a little bit more aggressively, I guess, than I was in the 0% mode. So using the engine brake. Brakes catch decently quick. They're not too rough. None of it is too rough. It's not supposed to be. If it's rough, you're doing it raw. Or at least when it comes to motorcycles. So funny, they look at you and they smile when you go by. And you're like, are you smiling because you think it's cool because it's a motorcycle? Or are you smiling because I'm making no noise? What do you guys think? Tell me. What do you guys think? You think it's because I'm a female rider? Or you think it's because I'm making no noise? So 50% is pretty much half of everything. It's half better than 0%, that's for sure. But no, in all honesty, it works fine. It has no major issues about it. It's peaceful. I'm very surprised by this motorcycle's range. That's what I'm surprised about. The range on this motorcycle is just unbelievable. I mean, you can go anywhere from I'm a beginner to advanced so easily. Zero really did do a good job making this motorcycle. I'm very impressed with it. I'm happy to own it. The fact that it's more bottom heavy than top heavy has its own little issues, like when it comes to trying to rotate the bike in a parking spot, because it doesn't work as well. It's nice to know it's not exactly like every other motorcycle out there by not being able to do that. But 50%, yeah, it gives you a nice little tug. It gives you a nice little push of the brake. It works out really nicely. It doesn't give you any hard times. It's not too soft. It's not too hard. It just as like Goldilocks would say, it's just right. Yeah, I know. That was a little cheesy, but it was really oatmeal. So I'm going to go over here again and do the same thing I did last time. Well, not the same thing I did last time, because last time I put it to 50%. Now I'm going to pump it up to 100%, because I want to know what it's going to feel like doing 100% of my motorcycle. Custom ride, set up, 100%, 100%, 100%. Okay, here we go, everybody. We are at 100%, and it is taking me no effort to get up to 50 kilometers per hour. I barely have to twist my wrist, which is not a surprise. I roll off of my throttle, and I come to a quick standstill almost. Like, it definitely takes no time at all for it to go from going a little bit faster to not going so fast. I don't even know if I have to use my brake. Well, I'm sure I have to use my brake. It definitely does not take long for it to come to slow down afterwards. Well, that is an entertaining feeling. I don't know how you guys will feel about, like, all of a sudden speeding up, and you're like, you're going, and then you roll off your throttle, you use your engine brake, and your engine brake's like, I'm going to slow you down a lot because that's what you're asking me to do. And I'm like, well, technically that's not what I'm asking you to do, but then technically it is, because I'm the one who put everything at 100%. But yeah, definitely the regen clicks in a lot more. It's heavier. So is everything else, like in the sense of whole picking up the speed is heavier, the slowing down is heavier. Between 0% and 100%, it is a huge difference. Pretty much, I'm sure that majority of you are expecting something like that you would hope to see a difference between 0 to 100%. It's just interesting, like, how easy it is now to, like, just barely roll on the throttle, and I'm like, you're going, and then I'm like, okay, I gotta roll off the throttle, but then if you roll off the throttle completely, you're like, I'm not going anywhere. Why am I barely moving? It's like, I'm going. No, I'm not. I'm going to slow down now. I personally, at this moment, I haven't found out the exact numbers that are going through eco and sport mode. I don't know if any of this is in correlation to any of those stats. But if any of you guys know what the settings are put on for sport and eco mode, I would really like to know. So if you guys can let me know in the comment section below, in the information section I was going to call it, but in the comments below, if any of you guys could let me know what the settings are actually put on for all that, the regen, the torque, and the braking. I'm actually kind of interested in knowing that, because I really don't want to duplicate any tests of something that is what the normal settings are at. But yeah, definitely is more heavy on everything, in the sense of the brakes are definitely more engaged. The torque definitely does not take much at all to go up to speed. Do not roll off your throttle unless you're expecting to come to a stop. That's kind of good for those times where you can see, like, that you speed up and you're like, oh, traffic's going to be coming, like, you're like, I'm going, oh, traffic's going to be slowing down, I'm going to just, like, roll off the throttle and slow down on my own, instead of going, I need to go. I'd like to know what kind of percentages would you like to see me test, everybody? Please let me know. Where would you like to see the torque, the regen, and the braking? What percentages would you like to see me testing out? Would you like me to see me testing out only torque 100% and everything else is 0? Or regen and braking 100% and torque like 0? Anywhere from 0 to 100% I pretty much can do. As always, thank you for watching this video. Till next time, don't forget to love, ride, and explore. I'm going back to eco mode because it's a little bit more friendly. Ride safe, everybody. Ta-ta. Oh yeah, there it is. The eco mode simplicity. The regen is not as high on eco mode, I can tell you guys that. Can't help it. Every time I go for a ride on this bike, any bike so far, I get a smile on my face. Which, as long as I get a smile on my face, means that I'm enjoying riding. So, unless that stops, I'm going to continue riding.